Well, welcome to, excuse me, Martini Time. I need the martini to clear my throat. Now, excuse me. If you hang out with me, and I hope you do, you'll notice that I'm kind of like a sleuth in the sense that I'm on the Dharma Trail. I'm a student of Dharma. I'm on the Dharma Trail. The Dharma Trail is my life. Or what is Dharma? It's the truth of life. It's the truth of life. And it's both objective and subjective. So it's objective in that you can read about it. You can read about Buddha, read about non-duality or whatever. But it's also subjective because you have to discover it in yourself as you do it. So you see, it's both objective, that's an it, and it's also subjective, first person, I. So when you go to the doctor and you say, I hurt, he's going to look at you as an object and start poking around. Where do you hurt? And when you go to the doctor and you tell him, I hurt, you're talking about yourself as an object. That's okay. That's external. But when you feel I hurt, when you feel the pain, that's subjective. And nobody can see that. Nobody can analyze that. And you can't really describe it. It's like describing the taste of a martini. I can say what it's like, but I can't tell you what it is. So anyway, the second thing is that being semi-retired, and by semi-retired I mean that I have a photography studio in my residence, and I just do what comes in the door. Nothing comes in the door. So, passports and stuff like that. So anyway, I have to make use with what I've got. You know, that's the MacGyver principle. When you're in a fix, you make use of what you're given, what you got, and you create stuff out of it, you see. So I have to create metaphors that describe the Dharma Trail in my everyday life. And since I live a rather mundane, boring life here in Blackstone, I make Dharma news out of everyday boring stuff, like going to Walmart to get some Duncan Hines carrot mix for my wife's cake. I had a little list. Whenever I have a neurosis, you see, and my neurosis is, and I guess I got it from my upbringing, I don't know. Neuroses start early. My neuroses is that I have a very closed or narrow wall of assumptions, which put me in a situation where I can't do it. You say, well, I can't do it, right? So I call for a savior or a tech support or something. And usually the solution to my fix, my dilemma, is on the other side of my assumptions. So my practice is to, when I hit the wall of my assumptions, which throws it back on me and says I can't find it, going to the Walmart with my wife's shopping list is a perfect place for me to practice Dharma. Because if there's any ambiguity in that shopping list, I'm on the horns of dilemma. I can't find it. And it gets really funny. So my wife is very careful to explain everything out in exact detail. So there's no ambiguity. But that doesn't help. So today I had a simple job of getting some coleslaw, got bags of coleslaw, got that. Some sour cream, milk and eggs. Can't go wrong there. And some Duncan Hines cake mix. What could go wrong? So I look at the Duncan Hines, and I know all the names back, can't see any carrot mix. I look again, can't see it. I look again, and I know now that I'm up against the wall of my assumption. I'm getting ready to go home and say, I can't find it. And she'll say, well, it was right there. So I looked and looked. Finally, I saw it. Carrot mix. I grabbed it, ran home, sat back down at my chair. My wife calls, you got the wrong one. You got Betty Crocker. That's synthetic carrot stuff. I want Duncan Hines. Duncan Hines has real carrot flavor. This is synthetic. So I said, okay, so I'll go back. And there was no resistance. No, God damn. Or I'll go use that. It was just like, turn around. It just reminds me of the King of Queens. Remember that TV show? In the opening of that? They get an ice cream cone and it falls off, and they get the ice cream cone, it falls off, and they just turn around. It was all one movement. So it was like I came home, I gave her the thing, and she said I had the wrong one. It was just like there was no, oh shit, it was just turn around and go back. So I just turned around and went back, and I looked again. I was right the first time. There is no Duncan Hines. They're out of it. So I looked, and I was going, and I started to pull the rows of the cake mixes apart to make sure they didn't have a carrot mix hiding behind some other thing. So I was going through the whole list, and I couldn't see it. It wasn't there. So I get out the phone to call her. Okay, I surrender. I give up. So call her up. And the moment I rang the phone, wait a minute, I saw it way back in the shadows, deep, deep, deep in the shelf. There it was, Duncan Hines carrot mix. And my wife didn't answer the phone, or else I hung up before. I think I hung up before she could answer because I saw it. So I got it and went home. And so I got in alignment. So I guess the point is, if there is a point, that this is, this is like Indiana Jones. All of his movies, he's got a shopping list. There's a treasure on there. You got to find the treasure, but you got to be able to read the code. It's ambiguous. The code is ambiguous. You got to figure it out. And you can't figure it out with logic. You can't analyze it. There are no saviors. You can't get anybody to help you. You have to figure out the code, you see. And so he always eventually, he may not get the treasure, but he gets wisdom. Okay? Or like in The Last Crusade, what'd you get? You got enlightenment, you see. Didn't get the Holy Grail, but I got enlightenment. So anyway, he always figures out, So this is kind of like, and so I feel, so I'm like Indiana Jones with a treasure map, which is my wife's shopping list, And it's always different. It's never boring. But anyway, the idea of Dharma, the Dharma Trail, which is spirituality, whether it's with yoga or Buddhism or Sufism or mystical Christianity, I don't care what it is. The spiritual trail is about getting in alignment with something you can't see. And the reason we want to get in alignment with it is because we're out of alignment. We're in alignment with the world. We're doing what the world says to do, doing the best we can, but there's a wobble. We're out of alignment. We're drifting over to the ditch. We're not in alignment, even though we feel we're in alignment with the world. So maybe the world's out of alignment. Maybe the world's neurotic. And I'm trying to get in alignment with the neurotic. So that makes me neurotic. And then I feel like I'm out of alignment because I know I should be in harmony with the world. I know that the world and I should work together as Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. You know how they dance? They're a metaphor for you dancing with the world, in sync, in the zone. All the lights are green. Everything's working. Not necessarily that the lights are green. It just means you feel like you're working with the world and the world's working with you. You feel like you are the world and the world is you. If you don't feel that, then you're out of alignment. There's a wobble. There's a rub. And you got to find it. You got to find it. Where is it? You can't see it because what you see is the world, and so you get in alignment with that. So the Dharma is the truth of life that is not apparent in the laws of the world, in the commandments of the world. The commandments of the world we try to obey. Well, here's a good one. Commandment of Christianity. Love your God with all your heart. That's a commandment. Have you ever tried to love? Can't do it. It's like telling a kid, now try to be spontaneous. It's like in the photography studio when the kids come and the mother says, try to smile, and the kid goes, He doesn't know how to smile. He doesn't know how to try to smile. But you make him laugh, you make him forget, and he's bright right there, you see. So you can't try to love. You can't try, of course we can learn how to smile, and then it looks, but it's fake. But spontaneity, you can't try to be spontaneous. Love is spontaneous. Love is Dharma. So how do you try to get in alignment? You can't try. You can't get in alignment with Dharma through effort. That's the whole double bind. That's the Zen cone. Trying to get in alignment with life gets you out of alignment because you are already life. So how can you get in alignment with something you already are? So you already are Dharma, but if you try to get in alignment with it, you're going to create a wobble. You're going to create a rub, you see, and then you're going to blame it on myself. I didn't try hard enough, or he did it, or I got the wrong teacher, or my mother did it, or something, you see. So that's the whole point of the Dharma Trail, is to discover that you can't try to get in alignment with the Dharma because you already are in alignment with the Dharma. But we're conditioned, our commandment, you see, in the world is to make effort, to try. You got to do something. You can't do nothing, you see. But that's the whole point of the Dharma, is to surrender the need to try to be in alignment with the Dharma. And snap, you suddenly are in alignment. It's like a miracle. You suddenly find the Duncan Hines carrot mix. You see, the moment I surrender to looking for it, it appears. Miraculous. A holy instant in ACIM. Right there. In Walmart. You see, so the Dharma is all around us. In Zen, they say, what is enlightenment? Well, everyday mind. So your Dharma and your enlightenment is in everyday mind. It's not in California. It's not when you're enlightened or something. It's in the dirt. It's in the mud. It's in the everyday mind. In the washing dishes, in the fights, in the spats, in the flat tires. When you get a flat tire, or just be more simple, when you step in the dog poop. My wife went to visit her sister-in-law and took a friend with a little dog, and the dog pooped in the bedroom. And the man that lives there, he stepped in it during the night and then got in bed with it, smeared it all over the bed. Now how did he react to that? I don't know. But I bet he didn't react like they did in the opening thing in The King of Queens. When he gets the ice cream and it just falls up, it falls off, and you just turn around and go back and get another one without missing a step. The getting and the losing is the same thing. The getting and the losing is the same act in the Dharma Trail. There's no difference. You step in the poop, you clean it up, you go on. There's absolutely no spike in the emotions. There's absolutely no, oh shit. You see? It's just, you step in the poop, you clean it up, you move on. I go to the Walmart, I get the wrong thing, I turn around and go back. No bitching, no complaining, no mistake. It's only a mistake when you start bitching about it. You're complaining. Why me? You see. So the Dharma is very smooth. No ups, downs, no right, wrong, you idiot. None of that, you see. Very smooth. Right? It's just this. You get it, you don't get it. You get it, you lose it. It's just this. Nothing special. Dharma is nothing special. It's so average, it's so everyday you can't see it. It's so present, it's so now, you can't notice it. You see. It's just this. There's dog poop, you step in it, it's just this. It's no, why didn't I see it? Who brought that dog in here? Got to get rid of the dog. You know, all this uproar over the dog poop. There's no big deal, you see. So, you know, so anyway, I think, you know, with my neurosis, is that there's a belief I've had to transcend about myself, is that I can't lift the hammer. You like that commercial? I love that commercial. Finally stopped it. It's a GE commercial. Or GM, I don't know, GE. Right. Kid comes home with his new job, making software. Father says, congratulations, son. I'm going to give you something you deserve now. And he pulls out Grandpappy's hammer. It's a big sledgehammer. Pulls it out, plump. And the son looks at it and gulps a little bit. A little pause, you know. You can't lift the hammer, can you? Go ahead, lift it. Well, and then the mother comes in. Oh, well, don't worry, son. You're going to change the world. You can't lift the hammer. So that's been my neurosis. You can't lift the hammer. So I create little dramas where I affirm that I can't lift the hammer. Like finding stuff on the shopping list in Walmart, or opening up a package, or finding the screw that opens up some box or something, or, you know, just simple stuff like that, you know, or, you know, fixing anything, you know. So my neurosis is, you can't fix it. Give me that. Somebody, the savior, somebody else says, I can fix it, you see. Of course, I married a woman that perfectly fits with me. I can't fix it, she can. I can't. How do you open this thing? And she'll come in, what, you pushes that, you know, bang, it springs open. That just affirms I can't open it. I can't lift the hammer, you know. So we all have these neuroses, you know, and the only thing to do with them, really, is to treat them as a comedy routine. Don't take them seriously. It's a comedy routine. Gives you something to laugh about. Gives you a joke. Gives you a food for your comedy. Life is a comedy. It's not a tragedy. Everything is food for it. Everything is stories. Everything is something to laugh at, you see. That's the Dharma Trail. Laughter. Okay. So, thank you all for dropping in, and I'll see you in the morning.